Alright then, as of this recording, I've had the Pixel 4a for about 10 days and man, I have to seriously say how I am shocked with how good this phone is. Let me give you my quick first impression of using the Pixel 4a and why I just love using this phone. Straight up and simple. Hi, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy content like this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future content posted on the channel. So I did my initial unboxing of the Pixel 4a before, so go check it out in the cards above and the description below. And again, shout out to Google UK for sending this over. And this is even before the phone even comes out officially in the UK, which I believe comes out somewhere within the first week of October. But again, disclaimer, this is not sponsored. My views and experience will be straight up as always. Now getting to it, this is the first impressions and I have a lot of testing to do on the 4a from a standalone and a comparison. So by no means is this the full review, but I will chime in on some of the initial feels and intangibles when using the 4a. Firstly, the size and the feel of the phone, and it's been so refreshing using a phone of this size and dimension, not necessarily because of the screen size alone at 5.8 inches, but more for the actual vertical and horizontal and the depth of the phone when holding it. That with the legit all screen design with basically clean and even bezels and borders, which for me personally on the design side makes this the best design screen on a Pixel device so far. No bathtub notch, no big bezels at the top. This is the best design screen on a Pixel device so far. Then adding to the shock of putting a hard shell plastic design on a phone to feel so well put together and premium was definitely a shock factor to the system in a good way compared to pretty much the last plastic phone I just used. I think it's really down to the fact that it's a single unibody piece and the matte finish that really sells it really well on this. It's so nice. The display is flat and also the feel of the glass and the coating feels comfortable to the touch. I know it feels weird going into detail on, you know, stuff like this, but this is legit the little things that stood out to me regardless of the price point that I wasn't expecting from the 4a, and it's kind of what you get from the first impressions that I want to try and relay to you guys from what I noticed when using it. Backed by the fact that the rocker and the lightly mint colored power button are honestly the most solid and the clickiest buttons I've ever used on a phone, and that's not an understatement at all. Trust me, these are solid buttons. Resurrected from the dead, the headphone port is there, and although I haven't used it, it doesn't take away from it being a nice throwback addition to the Pixel 4a, and we can kind of all agree that it's something that should always be there. But hey, thank you for putting the headphone jack, headphone port on the Pixel 4a. What shocked me more was this has a dual speaker system, and I know against the competition in the price range that it's probably the only one to have it. So back to the no gimmick single hole punch display, which thank goodness is an AMOLED 60Hz full high definition plus display. This makes media intake and consumption so on point on this device. Like, I can't fault the build enough, it's on point. That's probably why I've gone on a lot more longer about it. Now I'm very much glad there is a rear physical hardware fingerprint scanner at the back. It's fast, it's well placed, but I'm part of those people that I prefer the fingerprint at the front because I feel it gives more access and chances for biometric unlock. More on that in the full review, but overall, it's a good look. Now let's get onto the overall performance and battery life of the Pixel 4a, and the beauty of an up-to-date and a fairly current in-life Pixel device are the early day one software updates direct from Google, and yes, the 4a is no exception at this price point currently. I got the Android 11 OTA update, which I did a whole video on that, so go watch that and, you know, pretty much let me know what you think. But overall, it's needless to say that it's really polished and it's even cleaner than before. I have more thoughts on a full review, but again, I'm digging this. Android 11 up to date, the software experience is clean and straight to it. Specs wise, it is the Snapdragon 730G, 6GB of RAM, 128GB of UFS 2.1 storage, and a 3140 milliamp hour battery backed by 18-watt fast charging using the power delivery charging standard. Now I was a bit concerned at first at the Snapdragon 730G, but that was taken away, and I think this is more down to the use of UFS 2.1 storage and a nice healthy 6GB of RAM as the foundation, because the performance has been good. Now look, maybe not top tier flagship good, but I was switching in between that and the Note 20 Ultra, and I never felt like, you know, I was left wanting, because the overall performance really felt well put together. Battery wise, the 4a is stubborn and Trust me, this thing just doesn't want to die. Honestly, not just based on the screen on time performance and metric, but I've had intense multiple early day starts and late night finishes with the phone, and it just keeps going and going. Now, last talking point, which is the best tool last, is the pièce de résistance, the camera. Now, like I said, and I titled in my initial thoughts of the 4A video when it was announced, is this a £349, $349 camera beast? When it comes to the stills, straight up, yes. No gimmicks here, a single 12 megapixel f1.7 with OIS, so basically like the Pixel 2 hardware, and an 8 megapixel selfie camera with f2.0. So on a hardware wise, it seems standard, and yes, pretty much it kind of is, with very lack of versatility, like not having an ultra wide angle sensor lens combo. But I haven't gone deep into it, but honestly, it makes use of what it has, especially when it comes to the stills. It's a champ. Like, looking at the samples that I'll be showing and for you to be seeing, the biggest impression it gives me is that not only is the camera UI easy to use with things like double pressing the power button to quick launch, but the final output of the images from standard to things like the portrait mode leave you and give you confidence to want to keep taking more pictures again and again and again, because it just impresses you how well it gets the pictures right. Just have a look. These pictures that I was taking straight from camera, and the fact that you can even edit the background blur after the fact with the portrait mode, and it works with the selfie, man, I've not even touched low light photography yet because I've not had a chance. With the night sight feature on the selfie as well as the rear, boy, watch out for the in-depth camera test on this, because at this price point, it honestly feels like Google has the cheat code for a solid stills camera right now. Now, there's way more to share on the Pixel 4a, so stay locked and loaded. But for now, these are my first impressions of the Pixel 4a. And let me tell you this, there's no bigger compliment that I can give from an initial impression with this phone, where my main SIM card is in this phone comfortably. My main SIM card, not my secondary SIM card, right? My main SIM card has been in this phone comfortably, and I don't feel like taking it out just yet. That says a lot for what this is leaving in terms of impressions. So stay locked and loaded again, more content than this. And this is Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy content like this, you know exactly what to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future content that is posted on the Lover of Tech channel. I hope you guys are safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.